What's up, everyone? Mike from What the Fun. This debate section is from our latest episode of Test Your Might, the weekly video game debate show. The full episode is found on any podcast app of choice, with Apple and Spotify links down below. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.
On to debate number 2. Brian, you got to pick that one. So, Cicero, you get to pick first or second for this one. Debate number 2. STARFIELD has a lot of good stuff. Right? It looks too good to be true, but there's still people out there that aren't impressed. So I give it to you guys to choose something that you're going to add that's going to make everyone that's not interested fall off their chairs and be interested. Cicero, would you like to go first or second?
Brian, do you already have your debate topic?
But my answer, you mean? Yeah, I have an answer. If you need some time to come up with something.
No. I've got mine too, so I'll let you go first, though.
All right. So I think, from what I've heard, as someone who is a Bethesda dork, right, and someone who has put a unhealthy amount of hours into both their takes on Fallout as well as Obsidian's, and the Elder Scrolls series, I think what I have heard in my circles that people are still lukewarm on about the game is kind of the vibes of the setting. As a whole, it is a very generic sci-fi setting from what we've seen so far. It feels like sci-fi written in the 80s in a lot of ways, and I don't necessarily mean that as a compliment. Because sci-fi's done a lot of interesting stuff since then, and we kind of haven't seen that. As part of that, too, it seems very anthropocentric, so it's very focused on humanity. And if there's anything we've learned from sci-fi games like Mass Effect, it is that people want a cast of aliens and robots. And so I think the way that they're going to win a lot more people over is revealing that it is not a uniquely human view of the galaxy, and that as part, in terms of sentient species, and that as part of that you have things like AIs, and obviously they need to reveal these as being romanceable options as well, because if there's anything I know about sci-fi nerds, they don't want to date humans if they have any other option. And so I think how you're going to get that part of the fandom interested again is a wider galaxy that is, of course, dateable.
All right. Brian, let's take the jetpacks off next time. A known quote from the game, but with alter alien AI. Cicero, what you got?
Okay, so this game has everything, right? It's got lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my.
Right? And they've got flying, and you can make your own ship, and then you can make your own base, and you can go to different planets, and then they got hub worlds, and then you can do all the things, and there's an RPG, and then you shoot things, and there's all this stuff. But here's what it doesn't have. You land on this planet, you look around, and the planet, the volcano is erupting and lava is filling the planet, and you're closing in the space, and you just have to pick up weapons and try and get to the one ship to get you off the planet before the lava engulfs the entire planet, and you're facing off against 30 other people. And then you fly that ship, and you kill all of those people, and you get off that planet, you fly that ship into space, where there are other ships trying to get to this other planet because there's a black hole behind you. And you fight off those ships, you get to that other planet that also has a volcano that is going off, but you can get the final ship to go away. What it's missing is a battle royale, but not just any old battle royale. 100-person battle royale where 3 planets of 33 people face off to try and get to another planet where they also face off. And when you get to the final planet, it's 11 is 11 people, and they face off at the end for the championship.
Right. Battle Royale to the stars.
Yes.
Brian, Unchained, go ahead.
Yeah, so I will say, practically that seems frankly a little unlikely. Bethesda has dabbled before in multiplayer with a game called Brink that I think we've all mostly forgotten about because most of us played it for maybe 30 seconds and said this feels like trash and threw it away. They don't have the netcode infrastructure for that in any world. And on top of that, that would then require, I would imagine, for that gameplay mode to be online, which Bethesda has already made pretty clear. The online-only requirements are something they're pretty opposed to in their RPGs. So there's the practical reasons why I think no. Also, the thematics vibes feel weird. That does. Sorry. Yeah. The thematics and vibes also sound a little weird to me. Their big point is, look, there's 1,000 worlds and you can go to all of them.
Right.
And then what you're saying is, but they're just all volcanoes. So like if you're gonna do a battle royale, at least like be thematically appropriate and have like different vibes to each planet. Yours just seem to be all volcanoes, which is boring, frankly. On top of that, they'd then be swinging and trying to compete with Fortnite, which that's not a fight they're gonna win. And with how much is being wagered right now on Starfield, that's not going to happen. On top of the reasons why I think yours doesn't super work, I think the fan base that is on the edge of getting into this game, so the people that have just not stepped over that line, are still the sci-fi RPG nerds that just aren't feeling the vibes. That is the majority of what I've seen on various like Bethesda blogs. That is what I've seen on forums. That is what I've seen in Discords. The main complaint I've seen from these people is these vibes seem boring.
Right. And what I've seen is that the people who play Fortnite play a lot of Fortnite, and they love battle royales. So just because Starfield is an RPG doesn't mean it can't also be a battle royale. And remember, Fortnite was 2 separate games, and there was the Save the World mode, right? And then there was Fortnite Battle Royale, and the Battle Royale took off, and that was the thing. But what we could have, they could be completely separate entities coming to the same game. Call of Duty does the exact same thing. Warzone is one thing, and Call of Duty is another thing. It's still under the Call of Duty umbrella. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing with Starfield to bring the people to Starfield, right? Like if there are people out there that have seen what this game is and they're not impressed, right? And or they look at it and they say, you know what, it doesn't have the thing that I do in my games in it, right? Well, that thing, if they watched those videos and they were like, that thing that you do isn't there, then that thing's got to be battle royales, because that's the only thing that was left. That's the only thing that's not in the damn game is battle royales. So we're gonna put a battle royale in the game, and people that play battle royales will now also be able to play Starfield. And so now we've got everybody playing
$70 for a bad Fortnite.
You're not paying $70. You're paying for Game Pass, and then you just download Starfield, right? And so you talked about the netcode. First off, they got Fallout 76, which is, it's better. But also, you forget.
I was just playing it today. That netcode is still
right.
Okay.
But you forget though that Bethesda is now in Microsoft. So maybe the netcode that Bethesda used to use is bad, but they've got a lot of cousins now that are part of their family that has netcode that isn't bad. So that's how they're going to be able to make this crazy, the gaming's first intergalactic battle royale. Boom, done. That brings everybody
Fortnite's already intergalactic, but yeah, like definitionally, it already has all kinds of galaxy
But you don't leave the planet. You don't leave the planet. This is a battle royale that like you've got to win 3 times in order to be the actual champion. That's something
That
different.
just seems like it's going to be longer games. Like,
Absolutely.
People aren't going to Fortnite looking for like, I wish this game was 3 hours long.
Right, but like, they didn't before they played Fortnite, they weren't looking for Fortnite either.
I mean, plenty of people were playing PUBG before Fortnite.
Yeah,
put
but
that mode
PUBG,
in,
but PUBG is one version of that game, and Fortnite brings a totally different element into the game. And
what it brings that's different are vibes, right? And that's what my point is that
construction
you
is
need
also
to actually
vibes.
deal with the vibes that are not great in Starfield. Again, I say this as someone who is going to spend a lot of time in Starfield. Yeah. I'm going to mod it heavily because the vibes aren't that interesting, right? Like, NASA Punk is a cheesy name. It isn't good. The aesthetic is fine, but like, again, like, you are trying to get people to hop from one entirely different genre.
I'm just trying to get them
to try.
That's
a huge hop.
I'm just trying to get them to try my game, right? I'm trying to get them to try my game, and I'm getting them to try my game by adding a thing that I know that they like, right? You like nuggies? Well, you know what? Here's some nuggies or here's some broccoli that's shaped like nuggies. And now now you can try the broccoli nuggies and at least try them. And it turns out, oh, you know what? These aren't bad. Let me see what else broccoli has to offer. Right? And now somebody that ate nuggies is now also eating broccoli because I disguise my broccoli as nuggies. That's what Starfield is. Starfield is the nuggies of Fortnite.
Cicero, when I said you wanted the people who are not interested to fall off their chairs, I didn't mean of laughter. On the other hand, Brian is making them fall out of their chair in excitement, because that's what this game needs is those AI environments. You know, you've got the other sentient or the other aliens. You know, it's not just humans. And it's going to open up those doors that everyone loved from Mass Effects in many different ways. Brian has listed. I just don't see the Battle Royale. Maybe if you pitched it better at the original pitch, but I think there was too much to come back from. Honestly, Brian hit you out of the park.
They're falling out of their chairs, though. You didn't specify how.
Honestly, they might be falling off, but they're not going to switch chairs afterwards.
They might fall asleep in the chair.
Yeah,
depending how good it is.
Well, that's a point for Brian.
Got these broccoli nuggets for you. Come on, man. You want these nuggies?
Derailed.